Hello, 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 my amigos. Welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. And you guys are in for a treat. Os espera una sorpresa. Wait, you're in for a lot of treats. So hold on to your hats because it's time for liftoff. 10, 9, count down with me. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.5. Oh no.
0. Ignition.
Here we go, guys. Cross your fingers.
Liftoff. 30 minutes.
We got this. I just wanna fly. Put your arms around me, baby.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name. On Vaughn Radio. Let's go.
All right, amigos. All aboard. All aboard. Todos a bordo. It's time for another exciting edition of The Show with No Name. Welcome one, welcome all. Doesn't matter where you're tuning in from. I know we've got people tuning in from every single continent, all over this amazing earth. And thank you, my amigos, for joining us today. And if I'm not mistaken, it's the last day. No, it's confirmed. It is the last day of the month, the first month of the new year. And as I said the other day, I'm still writing 2022. Are you guys guilty of that too? Oh man, I'm still writing 2022. And now I've had a month, over a month now, right, to get used to it. 31 days, which is a long month. We all know we have long months, shorter months, and then February. And unless it's a leap year, remember that word leap is another word to say to jump. So, piénsalo, saltas el 29. Every 4 years, that day shows up. It must be difficult. Do we have any of our students that are leap year babies? I imagine what they do is they celebrate it on, I mean, you're not going to skip your birthday every 4 years. Come on. But it's like the Olympics or the World Cup. You have to wait 4 years for it. Well, thankfully, folks, the Show with No Name, if you can just get through the weekend, you only have to wait 2 days, 48 hours to get a fresh new episode, because you've got fresh new episodes every Monday through Friday at 10:30 a.m. Right before this show, you've got the amazing Fitz, a great friend of mine, a wonderful teacher, and he is the bar by which all other Vaughn teachers are measured. And I'll tell you why. It's because he is the teacher trainer. I was looking for a better word. Let's say the master. He is the master. He has trained, I would say, maybe not everybody on the radio. Let's say about 70% of us on the radio, including myself, were trained by Fitz and his team. And if you guys want to find out more about our amazing courses, as you know, we've got courses online. We've got courses that you can do in person. We've got video conference courses. All of that is over at our website. And our website is grupovaughn.com. You can go over there and find out about all the amazing options. One of my favorite ones, and one that I'm pushing for to attend myself, and not as a student, but as a teacher slash, live radio show. I mean, wouldn't it be fun? I remember we used to connect with Vaughn Town via Vaughn Radio on Jim Trainer's show. And for some reason, we stopped doing that. But don't you guys think you guys should contact Vaughn and say, send Alberto and the show with no name to Vaughn Town. Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. That's right, folks. If you want more information about Vaughn Town or any of our amazing programs, go to grupovaughn.com. If what you're looking for is materials, resources, then you can go over to vaughntienda.com, where you can pick up a plethora. We like that word too, a plethora. I remember where I learned that word. I learned it in the movie The Three Amigos. And, a plethora. He said, would you say we have a plethora? And he goes, what is a plethora? And I remember learning, it's funny how you learn so much from movies, but we have a plethora, a wealth, abundancia of materials at our Vaughn Tienda. And the good news is we're going to take a look at one of them today, my book, English Everywhere, in our pop quiz. Come on. Let's go. Pop it up. Pop it out. Pop quiz. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Hands up. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Ow. Pop quiz. Good morning, everybody. I see so many people joining us in our chat room, ready for some challenges in English. Well, I've got a lot of challenges up my sleeve today, and that's right. We're going to take some challenges. If you haven't figured it out yet, we are going to take some challenges out of my book, my first book, English Everywhere. I've got it here in my hands. And you know how many challenges we're going to do? I was thinking about this, and I thought long and hard. Me lo he pensado bastante bien. And you know what? I think this is very involved. But if you guys can do this, this is going to be a master test. We're going to see how well you know my first book, English Everywhere. Now, this book has been out. I don't even remember. Let's see when this thing came out for the first time. I can't even remember. Oh, I feel old. 2013. Oh, that's the second edition. This is the one I have here in my hand is the second edition. Remember, you can go over to Vaughn Tienda and you can get the English Everywhere pocket version. Now, there aren't as many pictures and things, but it's a lot easier to carry around. And remember, if you have this one, the original, comes with CDs. I still have the CDs. You can see them here. This is a collector's item now. I don't even think they're printing these anymore. I think they're doing them now. All of them are the pocket ones. So if you can get your hands on one of these, or maybe some of you even have it with a signature. Well, don't forget, I have a new stamp too. So for this year's upcoming book fair, I'll bring my stamp, my AA approved, AA approved stamp. All right, so here's today's thing. Bear with me. Okay, I'm going to take one translation from each chapter. Now, those of you who know, well, let's start with that one. How many chapters are there in the book. There are, right? So ya ahí vemos una estructura imprescindible. How many structures are there? Pregunta, are there? How many chapters? Perdona. There are 40 chapters. So you know what that means? You're going to get 40 challenges today, 40 questions that I'm going to throw your way, and we'll see how you guys do. And the great thing is we're going to learn about everything today because we've got at the movies, in the mountains, in the garden, at the airport. This is a very useful book because aside from giving you key phrases that you can use, it'll also give you little tricks, common mistakes, pronunciation things. And remember, it comes with audio. All right, from the first chapter, remember, if we're talking about capítulo in a series, we're talking about an episode. This is a book. This is a chapter. Okay, the first one. ¿Dónde está la mejor zona para salir? This is in sightseeing. Buena pregunta. You know how many times I've asked this question? When I've been traveling after a nice day of sightseeing, haciendo turismo, I'll ask somebody at the hotel or somebody I meet, hey, who? I mean, you want to ask a native, somebody from there, alguien de esa zona. And you want to ask them, you want to say, hey, ¿dónde está la mejor zona to go out? I would say, where's the best area? You could say, where's the best zone? But that doesn't sound very native, at least not in English. Where's the best area to go out? To go out, salir, eso es. Or where's the best area to go shopping? You know, you can fill in the blanks there once you have the translation. And as I said, each chapter has little common mistakes. So, for example, here I have one, strange foreigners, extranjeros extraños, because a lot of people tell me I was in the foreigner. Yo digo, ¿tú estabas en el extranjero, persona? En un extranjero. Oh my God. So that was a sexual thing? Hey, that's what it sounds like to me. I was abroad. I was in a foreign country, but I'm not in the foreigner. This is all in the sightseeing chapter. So where's the best area to go out to whatever, to grab a drink? Okay, the next one, at the restaurant. ¿Podemos ver la carta de vinos? Remember, this is all useful expressions for 40 different situations. If you don't have this book, I don't know why. It's very useful, not just in these situations, but as I said, in each chapter, you're going to go a little bit deeper. Look, there's Richard Vaughn and I on the cover, two young chaps, on the back cover, I should say. Y mira, aquí tiene cómo cocinar la carne, en su punto, how you like it, right? All of that stuff. So, ¿podemos ver la carta de vinos? May we see, could we see, can we see the wine list? Can we have, you can change the verb, the wine list, la carta de vinos. We don't call it a card or a menu or a wine menu or a wine card. We call it a wine list. All right. And then you've got mantel, tablecloth. You got propina, tip, or gratuity. Es muy importante saber gratuity, porque te lo pone ahí en Nueva York, gratuity included. ¿Y qué es esto? Nada, no es gratuito. Gratuity es una propina, right? It's a false friend. Sounds gratuito. No, you're paying. All those kind of tips you'll find in the restaurant chapter. All right, guys, I see a lot of people participating. Since I have so many questions, we'll have everybody just check your own, but I want to get through the whole book. I want to do one from each. You know, this way we literally visit 40 different places today. Okay. The next one. Here it is. Quiero sacar 40 pavos, por favor. You can say dollars, but I wanted to learn pavos. Quiero sacar del banco. I want to take out. To take out $50 or 40, he dicho. I would like to is more polite. Another one, to withdraw. To withdraw, sacar dinero. To withdraw money or to take out money. And you can say to deposit money or to put money in the bank. All of this and more in the bank episode. Lo estoy llamando episode. Bueno, hay audio, so we can count it as an episode. But really, we're talking here about different situations in my book, the book English Everywhere, which is available everywhere. Okay, now we're in the restroom. Estamos en el baño. I know. TMI. Bueno, ya empezamos con algo que se dice cuando se habla del baño. TMI. Too much information. Come on, man. Too much information. Okay, here's your bathroom translation. Por favor, tire de la cadena cuando termine. My daughter knows this one. Also, it's onomatopoeic. All right? Por favor, tira de la cadena cuando termine. We're very polite with that usted there. Please pull the chain when you are done. No, I'm just kidding. It's not pull the chain. Flush. Sound familiar? Flush. Please flush. Or flush the toilet. I think it's obvious what it means. When you are done. It's a double trouble, too. If something flush is flush, está alineado. Good word there. Flush is also used in cards. So please flush. All right, the next one. We are at the beach. Don't you wish in the middle of January? Hey, I'm sure some of you live on the islands, beautiful places where the weather is nice. I know our amigos in Latin America, they're right in the middle of the summer right now. This one's for you guys. I hope you never have to use it, but it's good to know. Socorro, me estoy ahogando. I really hope you never have to use it. But hey, I put it in here. We're at the beach. It's one of the vocabulary words you should be familiar with. Help. Socorro's help. I need somebody help. Not just anybody help. Like the Beatles say, help. Did you say I'm choking? Esto es ahogar, atragantar. I'm choking? No. I'm drowning. I'm drowning. This is at the beach. I hope, again, you never have to use this. But like we look at, for example, in this chapter, we look at some common mistakes. For example, a lot of my students pronounce the word suit sweet, but it's suit. Bathing suit viene de traje de baño. So I give you some other words. Let's say them. Suit, fruit, juice, no juice. Think of it as one sound. Ooh, suit, fruit, juice, cruise. Does anybody feel like going to the beach now? All right, we are at the movies. We go to the movies every day here on the show. How would you say la película fue un fracaso? La película fue un fracaso. You could say the movie was a failure, sure. But there's another way to say it. The movie was a flop. Or the movie flopped directamente. The movie was a flop or the movie flopped. What else? We've got, in this chapter, we take a look at the false friends, last and latest. If I told you English on the Go was my last book, it means I'm not writing any more books. If I told you it was my latest one, it was lo último. So we'll look at that too in that episode, in that chapter. Well, episode, otra vez, porque es audio. Okay, we're going to the pharmacy, a place near and dear to my heart. By the way, thanks to everybody who's commenting right now. So many people commenting. Okay. ¿Tiene efectos secundarios? This is at the pharmacy. ¿Tiene efectos secundarios? Remember, all of these things are out of my first book, English Everywhere. We're just going to a lot of different places today to learn English. Are there any side effects? We say colaterales, no? Like on the side. You say secundarios. Same idea. Are there any side effects? One I always like to teach here is not the same una receta médica, which is a prescription, que una receta de cocina, which is a double trouble in Spanish. Another one, too, you got OTC and prescription. Speaking of receta, prescription drugs, you need a prescription for them, right? OTC, good question. What does OTC stand for? It stands for over the counter. Sobre el mostrador. Ahí te la paso. Over the counter. The next one, Chapter 8 in English everywhere. By the way, I wrote some of this book in Andorra and some of it in the French Alps. So I was feeling pretty inspired listening to Les Miserables. Seriously, I'm not joking. Drinking a lot of tea. Bebía muchísimo té. Well, you need to keep yourself busy and keep, and they got to take these little breaks when you're writing a book. You sit there for too long. You're like, I'm going to go make some tea, take a quick walk, All right. Now, beautiful people. What is this one about? Well, this chapter of the book teaches us to talk about people. How to talk about people. Tiene el pelo largo, right? Hablando de lo físico. Perilla, a goatee, right? So, how would we say de qué color es su pelo? This is an easy one. Come on, I didn't give you a hard one in this one. ¿De qué color es su pelo? What color is his hair or her hair? You also got cuánto mides, cuánto pesas, all of that in this episode, along with false friends and much, much more. Who's ready to go to the grocery store? What? Grocería? Well, yeah, grocery store, supermercado. I'll tell you something. We would say the word grocery store 1,000,000 times more than supermarket in the United States. Normally, we just say the name of it. I'm going to ShopRite. I'm going to whatever, the name of the place. But if you want to distinguish between going shopping, que tenemos un capítulo, and going shopping for your food, it's grocery shopping, right? A little bit different. So grocery shopping es yendo al super, hacer la compra. So this is the grocery store. Okay, let's see. Voy a pagar la compra. You could say I'm going to pay for the groceries, pero no quiero así. Porque las filas ahí donde se paga tienen un nombre. Okay. You've heard of it in a hotel. Checkout. So the cashier is also called the checkout girl or the checkout guy, right? Because they check you out. It's interesting, right? Pero checkout también es mirar, como ojear, like, ooh, I think the checkout, de hecho tengo esta expresión aquí. I think the checkout girl is checking me out as she checks me out. ¿Lo has pillado? Triple trouble. I think the checkout girl, la dependienta, la que en el super, is checking, me está dando ojitos as she's checking me out mientras me está cobrando. Check it out. And excuse me. Be careful too with check versus check out. All of that is in this chapter. So check something is what your teacher does. Can you check that for me? ¿Puedes mirar eso para mí? Can you please check that? And check it out es echarle un vistazo. They can be similar, but they don't have to, because check es revisar. So maybe I'm saying, hey man, check it out. No significa que quiero que lo revises detenidamente. But if I say, can you check this for me? I just want to make sure there are no typos. Well, think about it. We have a proofreader, somebody who gets my book when it's a document and says, that's not English or Spanish. And I say, oops, that's a typo, errata. All right, the next one, and we're going to take a quick break. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub, but mommy, I got the X. If you're into taking drugs, I'm into having sex. I ain't into making love, so come give me a hug if you're into getting rough. In the club, that's the name of the song. All right, let's see. ¿Quién pincha esta noche? Did you say who's pinching tonight? That's a false friend. It's not who's pinching. How do we say that? You can say who's DJing. That's fine. Pero ¿qué es lo que hacen las estas? They spin. You spin my head right round like a record, baby. Folks, I can't believe it. We have to go to our first commercial break. We've only done 10 chapters. All right, we have to race through the rest, but I hope you guys are learning. And it's cool because, you know, in the same exercise, we're going to a lot of different places and learning a lot of different concepts. I sure hope you'll join us in the second part of today's show with no name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. Only on the show. Only on Vaughn Radio, no. The show with no name. Only on the show with no name. Ways to be redundant. Welcome back, folks. I hope you're enjoying this Tuesday, last day of the month. Where did January go? Seriously. I mean, didn't we just start? I feel like Christmas was just here and we were just decking the halls and being merry. And here we are at the end of January. All right, well, folks, welcome back. Welcome back to this, the second part of today's show with no name. We have so much to do, so let's get rocking. Let's kick off the second part with a section we call, let me find it, Double Trouble. No, we're not doing Double Trouble. We're doing Say What? Say what? What? That's right, amigos. Say what? The Say What soundbite only on the show with no name. All right, amigos. All right. Here we go with today's Say What soundbite. Remember, you're going to hear this audio clip 4 times on the show today. 4 times. You're going to get 4 chances to write it all down. Honestly, I think it's going to be easy, except for one little section that this person says really fast. All right, but before I say any more, before I give it away, let me give it to you. This is today's Say What soundbite for the first time. Please write down what you hear.
It was a charity event that you get a call from I'll just pick this name up after I drop it, Mick Jagger. And he says, we want you to come and play the event. And so I said, sure.
All right. There you go, folks. And that's how we normally speak. And that's a famous person who's usually pretty well-spoken. Well-spoken is a great way of saying somebody who knows how to speak eloquently, right? If you're well-spoken, you're eloquent. You know how to express yourselves. And that's what we're working on here day in, day out. Dia tras dia, we're working on you being more eloquent, more comfortable in your English. And not just listening. Remember, if you want to play along, you should. Whenever possible, if you can repeat everything I say aloud, all those translations we did so far, all that new vocabulary that maybe you weren't familiar with, if you can say it aloud, you're doing so much more than just listening. All right, well, here we go. This is the Say What soundbite for the second time. Please write down what you hear.
It was a charity event that you get a call from I'll just pick this name up after I drop it, Mick Jagger. And he says, we want you to come and play the event. And so I said, sure.
All right, there you go, folks. There you go. That was the Say What soundbite for the second time. We're going to pick up where we left off. As I said, my goal today was to get through English Everywhere with one translation from every chapter. So while you guys are mulling it over, mientras le estáis dando vueltas al Say What soundbite, let's get a little beat going and let's pick up where we left off. We left off at the club. Now we're at the bar. Yeah, well, tonight we just wanted to have a chill night. Una noche tranquila. Okay. ¿Cuándo se puede pedir la última? La última copa de la noche. Okay, if you want to participate, you can do it in the live chat. You can also just say it aloud with us. ¿Cuándo se puede pedir la última? Well, it depends. If you're in the US, we say, when's last call? Last call. Si te dicen last call, significa si quieres algo, pídelo ahora porque la barra se cierra. Okay? In the UK, it's last orders. It's last orders. We say last call. De hecho, rima. Last call for alcohol. And that's when you say to your friends, should we have one for the road? La penúltima. Una para la carretera. Right? We say. Para la carretera que nos queda delante. One for the road. All right. Chapter 12. Animals. ¿Podemos dar de comer a los animales o alimentarles? Podemos dar de comer a los animales. And remember, this chapter here is not just about animals literally, but how we compare people to animals. So somebody who reads a lot of books is a bookworm, right? Somebody who's timid or shy is mousy, right? To chicken out, lo mismo que en español. Rajarse. You chickened out. So, ¿podemos dar de comer o se puede dar de comer a los animales? Are we allowed to feed the animals? Yeah, the verb is to feed. It's an irregular verb. It's feed, fed, fed. And you know how you say pienso de animales, la comida? Feed. It's an easy way to remember it because it's a double trouble. Please only feed the animals, feed. Solo le des de comer, los alimentas con pienso. And I remember seeing that word in Spanish. That's a double trouble. Pienso que comen pienso. Hey, I think they feed on feed. Oh my God, it's a double trouble in both languages. Speaking of bookworms, let's go on over to the library. Remember, a bookshop or a bookstore, both are fine. That's where you buy books. You can get used books. But at a library, you take out books. Las sacas. Okay, you borrow them. Tomar prestado. Okay, let's see. Let me give you a translation from the library. ¿Te importaría callar la boca? ¿Te importaría? So you're saying cállate la boca. But at the same time, you're trying to be polite. You're a librarian. You don't want to be rude. Okay, so te importaría? I gave you 6 or 7 different ways to say it here. Te importaría? Would you mind shutting up? Would you mind con ing? Y lo vemos, hay ejemplos. Would you mind shutting up? Would you mind zipping it? Would you mind biting your tongue? Would you mind buttoning your lip? Would you mind shushing up? Would you mind keeping your trap shut? Sí, te doy más de 10. Te doy, I think like, oh my God, a lot of different ways to say shut up, but in a polite way. And I guess what we can take from there is, would you mind, no va con tú. Would you mind to shut up? No. Would you mind shutting up? The next one, music, chapter 14. Él afinó su piano. Afinar. Afinar es lo mismo. Afinar. It's a difficult one. What if I told you we say it here a lot on the radio? Porque es parecido de sintonizar. He tuned his piano. To tune. Here we say tune in, sintoniza. A tune es una canción, iTunes. It's easy to remember. His piano was out of tune. His piano was in tune. ¿Ves cómo ya sabemos usar eso? No solo el verbo, pero los adjetivos. Again, this is chapter 14 of English Everywhere Music. Chapter 15, we're going to a concert, pero estas entradas son de reventa. How would you say that? Estas entradas son de reventa. They're resold. You would be understood. We say scalped. Scalped. These tickets are scalped. Remember, if you want to follow along and you have my book, English Everywhere, follow along. We're on chapter 15. You can pick up the book right now. And if you don't have it, you can pick up the book, Otro Double Trouble, at vontienda.com. All right, 16. Chapter 16 is law. No lo, law. Derecho. How would you say lee la letra pequeña? Lee la letra pequeña. Read, good. Read the fine print. Yeah, you can say the small print, but it's more common. It's frase hecha. The fine, fino. Same idea, right? I give you also a little lesson on how to pronounce illegal. No, it's illegal or right? It's illegal. Amusement Park. Vamos al parque de atracciones. Oh, yeah. ¿Cuánto es el abono anual? Yeah, well, if you're going to go more than once, you're going to go a couple times, you got a family, sometimes it's worth it to get a season pass de temporada. We also, un abono de fútbol, a season pass. Okay. A season pass. Easy one. Un pase que vale para la temporada, ¿no? You think about it that way, it makes sense. And an amusement park, I guess, would be nowadays, I guess all of them are themed, so they call them theme parks. Pero el que no tiene temática en sí is just an amusement park. I love it. In the United States, we have them on the boardwalk. Los tenemos en las playas. Our boardwalk is your paseo marítimo, but it's made of boards, tablas, right? And there are rides and casinos. Oh, it's a lot of fun. Going to the beach in the United States, you don't have to be a beach bum. No tienes que ser alguien que se tira todo el día en la playa. Un holgazán de playa. We say a beach bum, que eso lo verás en el capítulo de beaches. 18, chapter 18 in English Everywhere, technology. All right. ¿Dónde puedo enchufar esto? ¿Dónde puedo enchufar esto? Where can I plug this in? Where can I plug this in? Y desenchufar, ya que estamos. Where can I plug this out? No. Well, you don't ask, where can I unplug this? But desenchufar is to unplug. Piénsalo. And in this episode, barra chapter, porque como te digo, viene con audio, I give you all these little abbreviations we use in chat, because we all know the language of technology is foreign to many people. No? So the next one, sports. All right. Sports. How would we say cómo quedaron? Cómo quedaron is what we're looking for over here. Cómo quedaron. Very common. After a game, you didn't see the game, you were in church, and yeah, we know you were in church. You're a good guy. And you missed the game. ¿Cómo quedaron? What was the score? ¿Cómo van? What is the score? ¿Cómo quedaron? What was the score? That is chapter 19. Chapter 20, we're halfway through the book. We've done over 20 translations already. And all in a different area. That's pretty cool. Remember, I'm just giving you one translation from each chapter. Each chapter is full, chock full of. Otra forma de decir repleto de. All right. How would you say, creo que tengo un esguince en el tobillo del tobillo? Creo que tengo un esguince en el tobillo. You would say, I think I sprained my ankle. Y ankle no es uncle. De hecho, voy a apuntar esa para mi lista de vídeos. Ankle and uncle. Oh, man, people hate that one. So, ankle, ankle, uncle, ankle. My uncle sprained his ankle. Quédate con esa frase. All right, that is 20, chapter 20. Chapter 21, we are at the dentist. And how would we say, usas hilo dental diariamente? Today we're seeing who's well-rounded in their English here. Because today I'm not just asking you to know about one topic. I'm asking you to know about a lot of different topics here. All right. Do you floss on a daily basis or daily? Floss. You can say, do you use floss? Porque floss es el hilo dental. Dental floss. No hay que decir dental en el contexto. Or you can just say, do you floss? Daily. I use a water flosser. You know those water jets that shoot? Because Floss and I, we don't get along. No nos llevamos bien. I don't know. For some reason, I've never liked to floss. Okay, Floss. Remember, those of you who have this book, you have an advantage. Más si conocéis el libro. Okay, chapter 22. ¿De qué va la obra? We're at the theater, and somebody got you tickets to go see una obra, a play. How would you say de qué va la obra? What is the play about? Lo contraemos para ser más naturales. What's the play about? All right, I told you we were going shopping. We already did our grocery shopping. Here we go. ¿Me puede dar el ticket de compra? No, vamos a usar una estructura que acabamos de ver. ¿Le importaría darme el ticket de compra? Would you mind to o ing ahí? Would you mind giving me a receipt? Se escribe receipt, pero es receipt. La P totalmente muda. A receipt. A ticket for us is a little bit different because a ticket es un billete o una entrada de algo. But a receipt tells you what you bought, and it's a little bit different. That's a false friend if I've ever seen one. So that's for you shopaholics, los que sois locos de compra. The next chapter, chapter 24, in the kitchen. Oh, I love it. I love it. How do we say a comer? Dig in. Let's eat. Dig in. Dig es cavar. Piénsalo. Acabar todos. A meter el pico ahí. In the kitchen. Oh, so much to learn in the kitchen. To whisk. Bueno, a whisk es la batidora, no eléctrica. Right? A whisk. A blender, a toaster, a frying pan, a corkscrew. Sacacorchos. So much to learn in the kitchen. Just open up the fridge and you got yourself an English lesson. Next, we're at the hospital. Hope you never have to go to the hospital. And I hope you don't pronounce it hospital. Hospital. Ha, ha, ha. Hospital. Okay. How would you say, you guys all know this one. Estoy pachucho. Come on. Tiene que ver con el tiempo. Easy one. I'm under the weather. Chapter 26. We're in the car. ¿Queda mucho? Now, esto es frase hecha. Entonces, no diríamos, is there a lot left? Aunque eso sería la traducción literal. ¿Queda mucho? Pero la idea es igual. We don't say, is there a lot left? No. Are we there yet? Es frase hecha. Are we there yet? ¿Hemos llegado aún? O sea, tenemos la misma idea en la cabeza, pero lo expresamos con otra estructura. So you say, ¿queda mucho? Is there a lot of time left? And we say, are we there yet? Que es la misma pregunta al final. Just remember, it's a little bit different. And when we talk about cars in the United States and in England, we're not talking about the same stuff. The bonnet versus the hood. The boot versus the trunk. It's insane. We just can't agree. The body. Chapter 27 in English Everywhere. The body. Tengo ardor de estómago. You can say I have indigestion or acid indigestion, but we have a funnier way to, and it doesn't sound as bad as acid indigestion. I have heartburn. Me acuerdo cuando aprendí esa. I said to my dad, Dad, my heart hurts. I think I have heartburn. And he goes, no, has nothing to do with your heart. Hey, live and learn. Uno va aprendiendo mientras vive, we say. You live and learn. The body. You have to know about the body. 28. We're going back to school, baby. How would you say, ¿cuáles son los deberes? Careful, you say deberes plural. Para nosotros no es homeworks. You can say homework assignments, but siempre es sin ese. So what's the homework? Eso es, si hay 2, 3, 4. What's our homework for tonight? What's the homework? Nunca decimos homeworks. Si queremos pluralizarlo, we could say homework assignments. All right? Let's see. Chapter 29. Wow. We are really going to a lot of places. But they say home is where the heart is. El hogar es donde vive el corazón, donde se alberga. Home is where the heart is. So how would you say to somebody, como si estuvieras en casa? Entra un amigo y dices, hombre, como si estuvieras en casa. How would you say that? Make yourself at home. Como si estuvieras en casa. Make yourself at home. Well, if you want to be a good host, remember the host es el que invita, and the guest is el invitado, right? We got a lot of expressions that have to do with home. Home, sweet home. Home is where the heart is. Do you know the one from The Wizard of Oz? El de Mago de Oz? Come on, you know it. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. There's no place like home. And in this episode, /chapter, we take a look at the whole family. Como se dice madrastra, padrastro, hijastro, nieto, nieta, yerno, all of this kind of stuff that, well, either you know it or you don't know it. All right, amigos. Well, that's chapter 30. We just reached chapter 30 in English Everywhere. And as promised, we're going to do all the chapters. We only have 10 chapters left, but I figured we could do another section before we go to our next commercial break, and that's today's Homophones.
Homophones, homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. 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 Show with no name. Show with no name. The show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Homophones only on the show with no name. And I hope you guys are getting all this vocabulary. Remember, if you can't catch the shows live, you can always listen to this show and all of our shows on the Vaughn Radio app, or you can download them wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember, even if you don't listen live, you're going to get I'm going to solve everything. So we're not going to go to, the end of the show. We're not going to get to the end of the show with you saying, pero ¿cuál era la respuesta? I always give you guys the answers. This way, it doesn't matter when or how, or if you listen to half the show and then later you have to listen to the other half. We thought of that already. So hopefully you guys can continue to follow along, even if you miss it live. It'll be just like you're live. Think about it. If you haven't heard a show before, a repeat, let's say, it is kind of like a live show because at one time it was. And if you've heard it before, well, you can consider it a review, un repaso. Okay, let's take a look at today's homophones or not. The first word is the word, I always forget how to say this because people say it different here. Bife, bistec, filete. Okay? Bife, bistec, filete. We were just talking about in the restaurant chapter of English Everywhere, we were just talking about how you like it cooked. All right. And the second word is if you guys have any vampires and you want to get that vampire, you'll need una estaca. También es un poste o una estaca. So that's the second word. The first word again is bife, bistec, filete. Guys, I can't believe it, but we have to go to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with tons more Show with No Name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name. I can't believe we're in the third part of today's show. It is just flying by. I mean, it's flying by for me. I hope it's flying by for you guys, too. Don't forget, after today's show, you've got the lovely Jules Linares and her program, Let's Get Random. Tons of great shows all day long. It'll get you through your day, through your week, and look at that, through your month. It's the 31st. By the way, if you're enjoying today's show, remember, a lot of the translations are coming straight out of my first book. English everywhere. You can get it at Von Tienda. If you're looking for a little bit more than just resources and materials and you want some information about courses or just want to find out a little bit more about us, go to our website. It's grupovon.com, and you can find out about everything from our Von Town to our Disney courses on the weekend with kids. I know for a fact that Nacho, his kids, Nacho the technician at Von Radio, his kids beg him to go. Le ruegan, le ruegan. I think it's difícil. Then you think English is difficult. They beg. They're like, come on, please, please, Dad. And you know the word beg from a song. I'm begging. All right, well, what we need to do first is let's listen to our Say What soundbite. We've got to give it a third listen. Is everybody ready? Write this down.
It was a charity event that you get a call from I'll just pick this name up after I drop it, Mick Jagger. And he says, we want you to come and play the event. And so I said, sure.
All right, there you go, folks. There you go. That is today's Say What soundbite for the third time. All right, also, we got to take a look at today's homophones over here. Let's see. I got a lot of people participating. Some people are saying that the words sound the same, and others are saying that the two words don't sound the same. I love it when it's split like that. Well, sometimes it's unanimous, which then it tells me that that one's easy. But remember this, there's easy when you look at it and have time to think about it. And then there's easy, does it come out of your mouth correctly when you say that word or that pronunciation? So that's what we're looking for in the end. All right, so let's take a look. As always, we're going to listen to the words. I'll say them both. We'll use them in context, and then you tell me if these words are homophones or not. The first one, bife, bistec. It's a cut of beef. It's called a steak. But it's also used with filete de pescado. You can have a tuna steak de atún, salmon steak. Es un filete gordo. Usually when I think of a steak, I don't think of like a little thin piece of meat. Okay? I would think of that as a filet. De hecho, filet in inglés significa filete como más finito. So it's kind of a false friend there. Steak. Now, it kills me. My ears bleed when I hear people, and I love you, Chicote. We follow each other on social media. But when he says steak, and it's not just Chicote. I'm using him because he's a public figure. Steak tartar. Oh, man. Seriously, there's just one thing that I want to do. Steak. I can guarantee that there's no word in the English language that sounds like steak. All right. Well, steak. Steak is not a word. So get the word steak, that sound with the E Latina, get it out of your head because it's nothing. It doesn't mean anything. And I know what you're thinking, pero no es palo? No, that's stick. Very different. So steak, the word, the way people mispronounce the word steak, filete, is normally steak. Pero no es steak porque steak no es nada. Y si quieres decir, pero suena como palo, eso sería stick. Steak, nada. Stick, palo. Steak, filete. Now that we've cleared that up, what about our second word there? So we just looked at this first word. Okay, steak. Y luego, mira, hay mil cortes. Ham steak, jamón de York. That's weird to call. Pepper steak, bife con ají y cebollas, con pimiento y cebollas. Pepper steak, porterhouse, chuletón. Prime, solomillo. So again, rib steak. If you really want to get into it, you can really get into it if you're a meat lover, a carnivore. All right, so the first word, steak. How do you like your steak? ¿Cómo te gusta que te lo cocinen? And again, that's in the book English Everywhere. You've got rare. Vamos de más crudo a más cocinado. Rare, medium rare, or mid-rare. Se dice medium or mid-rare. Then you've got medium, punto. Then you've got medium well, and then you've got well done. right? So that's kind of the gamut there of steaks. I usually get mine, if it's a good steak, medium rare, right? And the reason I say that too is you can always cook a steak a little more. You can't uncook it. And once a steak is overcooked, I'm sorry, but it loses all its flavor. Like the juices are really important, for, at least for me as somebody who considers himself a connoisseur. I've worked at steak houses. I've always my brother-in-law is involved in steaks and stuff. So, I'm a big, we don't consume meat every day, like red meat. I'm not sitting around eating ribs off the bone every day, but whenever I can, cuando se puede. Okay, so just remember this. I don't know if you know this. There's a chain, una cadena that's called Steak and Shake. Shake, un batido, Steak and Shake. They rhyme. So remember that. Shake and steak. Well, it's steak and shake. Steak viene primero. So now the second word here, we already said that stick, palo, doesn't sound the same. But that next word, steak, S-T-A-K-E, does it sound like the first one? Okay. Hay una estaca en este filete. There's a steak in this steak. So, yes, they are homophones. Congratulations to everybody who said that these words are homophones. They indeed are homophones. Steak, estaca, and steak, chuleta, sí. Stick no es palabra y stick es palo o pegar, o bueno, como todo, tiene muchos usos. All right. Great job so far, guys. We're going to get through the book now. Can you believe it? Did you know we were going to do a whole English book today? Okay. We're just choosing one sentence from each chapter. But I'm ready to go to the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve and that forbidden fruit. Eso es, estamos en el jardín. How would you say no olvides regar las plantas? No olvides. ¿Cómo vamos con esta estructura? No olvides regar las plantas. Don't forget to, right? Don't forget to. Apréndete esta estructura. No te olvides de hacer tal cosa. Don't forget to es infinitivo. Don't forget to, y qué palabra más fácil, water the plants. Also, you'll learn in this episode some other spices and things that you'll find around the kitchen. You also find like expressions. You reap what you sow. Recoges lo que siembras. You reap what you sow, but don't eat too much because then you'll have to go over to the gym, which is chapter 31. Again, this is all out of English Everywhere, my first book. Okay, here we go. How would we say? A ver, voy a buscar una difícil aquí. Esta bebida deportiva saciará tu sed. You weren't expecting that one, huh? That was a curveball. Esa vino con efecto. En inglés, a curveball viene de baseball. Que hay muchas expresiones. Viene con curva, viene con efecto. No sabes cómo. Oh, no le he dado porque parecía que iba. A curveball. I just threw you a curveball. It's a tough word. Saciar. Está en español. Esta bebida deportiva saciará tu sed. This sports drink, no this sports drink will quench your thirst. So, buena palabra. Thirst es la sed. Thirsty, sediento, right? I'm thirsty. You guys have a thirst for knowledge. You're thirsty for knowledge. And you come here to the show with no name to quench that thirst for knowledge. I remember it because in the United States, I don't think so in Spain, but in the United States, Gatorade is called the thirst quencher. El sacia sed. The thirst quencher, because it quenches your thirst. The next one, you're thirsty for more? ¿Queréis más? We're going to the hairdressers or the barber shop, the salon. Where do you want to go? Maybe you like the whole spa treatment. You want a pedicure and a manicure and all that jazz. Well, this is important, guys, because you don't go to a hairdresser's and say, just cut my hair. Cut es una palabra muy amplia, right? I would learn some other versions of cut. I think the most important thing to know, if you walk into, ni te lo voy a dar como traducción, quiero que te lo apuntes, just trim it a little bit. Recórtalo un poco. And I wrote, guys, this book came out of that. Vino de eso. Digo, ¿qué frases quería saber yo en español que no son de cajón, pero no son tan de cajón? Because everybody says, I'm going to cut my hair. Oh, you're going to do it yourself? Because I don't cut my own hair. I've tried that experiment way too many times. I'm going to get a haircut. ¿Ves? Un error ahí. I'm going to get a haircut. Voy a ir a que me corten el pelo. Get es el obtener. Think of it that way. But I'm going to cut my hair. Well, good luck. I don't recommend it. Then I talk about like braid, trenza, a perm permanente, a bob, el corte que va encima de los hombros is called a bob. Spiked. If your hair is spiked or spiky, es de puntas. So just trim it a little. Recortar, to trim. Great word to know. Chapter 33, professions. A jack of all trades. Un manitas, alguien que vale para todo. All right. How would you say, ¿le puedo mandar mi currículo? ¿Le puedo mandar mi currículo? We're looking at professions now, interviews, things like that. Here in this episode, in this chapter, we look at also, you don't know how many students, even high levels, they say, I'm teacher, I'm engineer, I'm baker, I'm actor, and I'm an actor, I'm an engineer, I'm a teacher. En inglés hay que poner el artículo, amigos. I'm a politician. I hope not. I'm an optometrist. I'm a vet or a veterinarian. All right. ¿Le puedo mandar mi currículum? Can I send you my resume? Yeah, well, in the United States, we say resume. We don't say CV. The first time I heard CV was when I moved to Spain. That's a European thing. In the States, we say resume. Pero lo explico aquí. This is a very useful book. I wanted to give you guys useful phrases for different situations, but I also wanted to use the pages to fill them with little mini lessons. And, well, people seem to like the book. It's sold many, 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 many copies, ejemplares. All right, talking on the phone, hablando por teléfono. How would we say, hace tiempo que no hablamos, o cuánto tiempo sin hablar? You have to know this one. You have to. And it sounds ridiculous, but it is indispensable. Long time no speak. You can say, we haven't spoken in a long time, pero ¿por qué? No es natural. Aunque es correcto, we haven't spoken in a long time. Long time no speak. Long time no see. Sé que suena indio, pero suena tan natural. Hay veces que hablar indio no te lo voy a recomendar, como I'm teacher. Ahí no suena natural, porque es incorrecto. I'm a teacher. Pero aquí, long time no see, no puede sonar más nativo que eso. And there's a lot of key vocabulary we can learn talking on the phone, not talking by the phone. Por ejemplo, la preposición. It's also the hardest form of communication because we don't have gestures. We don't have facial expressions. Chapter 35, on TV. Bueno, ahí ya tenemos la primera lección. People said, I saw you in TV. Nope, on. Acuérdate con algo que tiene ondas, radio, televisión, internet, on. Vas en las ondas, no dentro de las. Vas encima de las ondas. Think of it that way. All right. ¿Qué echan en la tele esta noche? What do they throw? No. ¿Qué echan en la tele esta noche? What's on tonight? Hombre, puedes decir what's on TV tonight, pero no hace falta. What's on tonight? ¿Qué hay? Otra vez, en las ondas. What's on? And then you got all the different genres, todos los géneros, reality TV. One of my favorite chapters, at the airport. You can say in the airport, but at means in the general area of. All right. ¿Dónde está objetos perdidos? This was another one of these things I'm like, people need to know how to say this. Not my tailor is rich and my mother is in the kitchen. ¿Dónde está objetos perdidos? Where's the lost and found? Si queremos ser más corteses, could you tell me where the lost and found is? Indirecta. Okay, do you guys hear wedding bells? I think I hear wedding bells. Do you guys hear them in the distance? I hear some kind of wedding bells there. Ding, dong, ding. Oh, no. Alguien se casa. Eso es una forma muy nativa. Somebody's getting married. Somebody's going to tie the knot. Atar el nudo. It's another way to say it. How would you say, por favor, se ruega confirmación antes del 4 de julio? You can say, please confirm your attendance before the 4th of July. Yeah, that's a lot of, it's a lot. Please RSVP by July 4th. RSVP, there's some more French stuff. We had our resume. Well, we also have respondez, s'il vous plaît. So we use that all the time. Es un verbo regular. He RSVP'd 2 weeks late. Confirmó, su asistencia 2 semanas tarde. At a wedding. Chapter 38. In the bedroom. Oh, man. In the bedroom. How would you say, me gustaría recibir una llamada despertador a las 7? Let's say you don't trust your phone. You're at a hotel. You're in the bedroom there, lying in bed, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to call the front desk. Recepción. And how would you say, me gustaría una llamada, por favor, para despertarme? Para las 7. I'd like a wake-up call for 7 a.m. No hay que decir normalmente la habitación porque ellos lo tienen. You can say for room 207. I'd like a wake-up call. También a wake-up call es un toque de atención. Well, when John was hospitalized for his drinking, that was a wake-up call. Cuando le hospitalizaron a Juan por beber mucho, eso fue un toque de atención, a wake-up call. Un wake up, espabila, tío. So it's not just the literal sense. Chapter 39. In the office. Okay. Let's see. How do you say, su nuevo trabajo tiene muchos beneficios? Su nuevo trabajo tiene muchos beneficios. His or her, I didn't specify, his or her new job has a lot of perks. You can say benefits, but perks is really good too. Y beneficios de dinero or profit. He made a profit last year. Ganó beneficios. So be careful with that one. Depending on where you find it, it'll be used a little bit differently. And the last one, chapter 40. So important. Numbers. Los números. We look at ordinal numbers. We look at fractions and all kinds of things. Let's see. How would you say, sumar es pan comido? No es tan difícil como restar. So adding is a breeze. It's not as hard as subtracting. And then I teach you how to say dos más dos, 2 plus 2, dos por dos, 2 times 2. All really good stuff. Guys, if you haven't gotten the book, pick it up. It's called English Everywhere. You can get that and so many other amazing materials over at our Vaughn tienda. All right, guys. Well, I think it's time for today's Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie only on the show with no name. And here we go. I'm going to give you the trailer for the movie, and we'll see if you guys recognize it. Here we go. newlywed couple Nat and Joss are deliriously happy despite their differences, though friends and family aren't convinced that they can last. With their first anniversary approaching and attractive alternatives in the mix, can they last? So let's look at the vocabulary. Newlywed couple. Pareja recién casada. That's a good one too. I've had a lot of students say, my couple. No, my partner. The couple is both of you, right? Couple. So you say, we make a good couple. Hacemos buena pareja. Ese sí. But you don't say my couple. You say my partner likes these kind of movies. My spouse, my significant other. We've got a lot of different ways to express it, but not my couple. Okay, false friend there. En uno tiene sentido, en el segundo uso no. So newlywed couple, pareja recién casada, Nat and Josh are deliriously happy, contentísimos, como con delirio, think of it, despite their differences. Now just be careful here because you have in spite of and you have despite, but we don't mix them. So you would never, ever, ever, quiero que apuntes, despite of y táchalo. Cross it out. Why? Because it's in spite of or despite. So te lo voy a decir de las dos formas. They are deliriously happy despite their differences. They are deliriously happy in spite of their differences. So in spite of, iguala despite. Piénsalo como un sonido. Despite, in spite of. Pero despite of no lo decimos. So, though friends and family aren't convinced that they can last, aunque los amigos y familiares dicen que no pueden durar, perdurar, to last. With their first anniversary approaching, con su primer aniversario acercándose, approaching, and attractive alternatives in the mix, y alternativas atractivas en la mezcla, en el ajo, can they last? ¿Pueden durar? And let's take a look. The name of the movie is I Give It a Year. Es bueno, es buen título. No les doy más que un año. I give it a year. I give them or I give it, the relationship, a year. Les doy un año. Funny name for a movie. It came out in the year 2013. And Nat says, we have an incredible sex life. But that's not the point. Pero eso no es la idea principal. Eso no es el grano. I love Michael Jackson Off the Wall album. Off the Wall es un disco, pero también es loco. But I wouldn't necessarily want to only listen to that the rest of my life. And Naomi says, yeah, oh, honey, I've been there. Te entiendo. I mean, you'll listen to it a lot in the beginning. Lo escucharás mucho al principio. You'll listen to it all sorts of places, en todo tipo de sitios. You'll listen to it in the car, in the disabled toilet cubicle, in the McDonald's in Egham, in your unconscious granny's hospital room. I think these are confessions. And they're not talking about listening to Michael Jackson's Off the Wall, right? It's a euphemism. And Nat says, Granny Mary? Granny's another way of saying abuela. And Naomi says, it's what she would have wanted. Lo hubiese querido así ella. But then you get to the point. Llegas a este momento where you're not bothered about listening to music at all. Cuando ni te interesa ni te molestas en escuchar música. En absoluto. You just play it on birthdays or when you're very, very drunk. Or if someone shows you a Justin Bieber video when you're in the office and then, all you can think about is that. And there it is, folks. It's a movie called I Give It a Year. And it came out in the year 2013. And it's a British comedy, which is kind of cool because their sense of humor is a bit different than the American one. And obviously, you'll hear a lot of different accents. Well, folks, we have to go to, I can't believe this, but our fourth and final commercial break. Time has just flown by. We have so much to do. in the fourth part of today's show. So stick around. Welcome back, amigos. Welcome back to the show with no name, part 4 on Vaughn Radio. That's right, amigos. I can't believe it. We're in the fourth and final part of today's show. I hope you're having fun. I know you're learning a lot because we've gone through a lot of different material. We visited a lot of special places. Well, special, the dentists. Well, you got to know that vocabulary. I always say, I think that the vocabulary that has to do with your health should be the most important. Do you know if you're in another country, an English-speaking country, how to tell somebody? Something, tengo esto hinchado, me tengo un swollen, por ejemplo, la palabra que acabo de usar, hinchado, swollen. A really good word to know, because if you don't know how to express exactly how you're feeling or what your symptoms are, they may misdiagnose you. So, in a restaurant, if you make a mistake, well, your steak is overcooked. But if you make a mistake describing your symptoms, you might get a treatment that you don't really need. It could be a very, very important distinction to make. So learn about the body, learn your major organs, learn, these basic things to have a sore throat. I'm having difficulty breathing, me cuesta respirar, these kind of things that happen to people sometimes. We hope they never happen, but it's like a flat tire, como un pinchazo. You hope it never happens, but they happen. So it's better to be prepared. And I hope you guys are prepared for today's Double Trouble. Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble. That's right, amigos. It's Double Trouble only on the show with no name. And as always, this is where I'm going to give you a translation, but it's not your typical translation. This is a translation with a twist. And that twist is you have to use the same word twice. So let's go on over to our translation here. And I think you guys should be able to get this one. You know why? Because I've used these words with you guys before. So I expect all of you to participate on today's Double Trouble. Están motivados. En cambio, le han vuelto loco a lo largo de los años. So, están motivados. En cambio, muy importante saber esto, en cambio, le han vuelto loco a lo largo de los años. So some really good vocabulary to know in here. En cambio, a lo largo de los años, that you can use in any phrase, not just today's double trouble. Remember, you have to use the same word twice. And in the meantime, we need to listen to today's Say What soundbite, folks. Please write this down. This is the fourth and final listen.
It was a charity event that you get a call from I'll just pick this name up after I drop it, Mick Jagger. And he says, we want you to come and play the event. And so I said, sure.
All right, there you go, folks. There you go. That's today's Say What soundbite for the fourth and final time. I think, as I said, except for that one sentence in there, which we will look at in just a little bit, I think the rest is pretty easy. But there's one thing he says there that's just, for some reason, we know what it is. It's an aside, como decimos. Lo dice como insertándolo ahí, como tal. No como es mi mejor. So, for example, let me give you another example of it. John, not that he's my best friend, Williams. No, John, no que es mi mejor amigo, Williams. So it's kind of like he's sticking something in the middle there. So he kind of slips it in, right? As we would say, que tiene también una connotación sexual. Everything can if you want it to. All right, let's go on over to Double Trouble. Están motivados. They are motivated. Does that work? Absolutely. Absolutely. Sure. I see somebody put, they're motivated. Well, yeah, that's great. You just got to find another way to use the same word twice. What about they're pumped? That's a very American way to say it. They are pumped. They are pumped up. They're motivated. They're stoked. They're psyched. Pero ninguno de esos es el que busco. Pero ahora tenéis más. Psyched viene de psicología. Mentalizados. Motivados, right? So están motivados. I say it to you guys all the time. They are driven. So I'll say it again. You are driven. Estáis motivados. Ojito. No es driving. I've heard, I get it. Lo pillo porque ves drive y pones la N es driving. Pero no. It's drive, drove, driven. And when people say driving, it starts driving me crazy. Driving. All right. Well, I just gave you the second part too. So they are driven. Están motivados. En cambio, on the other hand, hay que saber esta, por favor. Si no lo sabes, apúntalo. On the other hand, y si queremos tener las dos partes, por un lado, in Spanish you say por un lado y en cambio, ¿no? So por un lado, on one hand or on the one hand. Yo lo digo sin el the, pero los dos son correctos. On one hand, he's a nice guy. On the other hand, he's not nice to his brother, for example, right? So muy importante es on one hand or on the one hand, eso como quieras. Y el segundo siempre es on the other hand. La segunda nunca la he oído sin el the. O sea, somos flexibles con el primero, pero no con la segunda. Okay? So, they are driven, no driving. On the other hand, they've driven him crazy throughout the years. And it's weird because you can say to somebody, you're making me crazy. It's fine. It's correct. It just sounds a lot more natural to say you're driving me crazy. Es frase hecha. When you use the word volver, you use the word drive. You know, drivers drive me. Mira, los domingueros. Sunday drivers drive me crazy. And now that we're on the issue of drivers, if I'm not mistaken, it's also something in IT, in la tecnología. Also, we have a screwdriver. Right, a screwdriver. Destornillador. A screwdriver. So, driver also in golf. Wow, this is a really rich word, the word drive. It could literally drive you crazy. I guess maybe it's time for your joking. All right, well, let me give you the whole example here. Están motivados, en cambio, le han vuelto loco a lo largo de los años. We didn't look at a lo largo de los años. Throughout the years. Okay? Throughout the years. Es una palabra larga, pero se dice todo como una. Throughout the years. So todo junto. They are driven. Están motivados. On the other hand, en cambio, on the other hand, they have, contraído, they've driven him crazy throughout the years. Y me suena de una... There's got to be a song called Throughout the Years. Es que me está... I don't know the rhythm, but I know that there's a song called Throughout the Years. Well, folks, it's not time for Name That Lyric or songs. It's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You know it. It is time for our You're Joking section. And lately, I think you guys know this, lately, if you've noticed, I'm coming with a couple jokes. Why not? You know, because I look at a joke, I look them up on the internet, but then if I can think of another one or two, then I'll add them as well. And this way, well, why not learn a couple different puns here in this section? So why don't Teslas come with a new car smell? Okay, muchos coches vienen con este olor a coche nuevo, which is, I think, a toxic smell. I like the smell too. I mean, porque dices, you know, there's even an air freshener called New Car Scent. Te lo juro. I swear to God. So new Teslas don't come with that new car smell. Why don't they come with it? And Tesla is obviously that car that's popular now. It's expensive, but popular. I guess self-driving. I don't know too much about Teslas. So, but why don't they come with that new car smell? Well, simple, because they come with Elon Musk. Elon Musk. No. Nobody got it? No. Why don't they come with that new car smell like normal cars? Because they come with Elon Musk? No. Well, his name is Elon Musk. I know. Elon doesn't mean anything, as far as I know. Maybe it does. As far as I know in English, Elon doesn't mean anything, but Musk does. Musk is an animal's scent. I remember when I was growing up, there was a lot of colognes and perfumes out there that said Musk, M-U-S-K, como su apellido, muchos lo conocéis. And in Spanish, it says almizcle. I've never heard that word, almizcle. And I know it was a very, very popular kind of woody smell, like nature smell. It was used. I don't know if it's as popular now, but I remember in the 80s, everything said musk, este tipo de musk, musk de no sé qué. And so it's a word that we associate with perfume, with cologne. By the way, in English, at least American English, perfume is normally for women. Men can wear it if they want. I'm not going to stop you. I'm just saying in general. In general, perfume is for women and cologne is for men. Now, if you want to wear cologne and go for it. I don't care what you do. I'm just telling you the basics there. So Musk, you get it now? Okay. All right. So what's the difference between a Fiat and a golf ball? A Fiat, the car. Not the Fiat del Fiat. Okay, all right. So what's the difference between a Fiat and a golf ball? Una pelota de golf. You can drive a golf ball more than 200 yards. Oh, there's that word drive again, huh? Okay, so drive. I said it has something to do with golf. A ver si lo encuentro aquí. To drive a golf ball. Let's see. Voy a buscar en esta página por la palabra golf. Golpear, pegar el drive. Oh, no me jodas. In golf, I find driving easier than putting. En el golf, encuentro más fácil golpear que hacer hoyo. So do you get it now? What's the difference between a Fiat and a golf ball? You're assuming a Fiat is a bad car. You can drive a golf ball more than 200 yards. Puedes golpear una pelota de golf más de 200 yardas. O puedes conducir, drive. Okay, another one. The biggest irony in life would be being hit by what kind of car? What brand of car? Again, these are just me coming up with jokes here. A Dodge. A Dodge? Dodge es esquivar. So the irony would be being hit by a Dodge. You were supposed to dodge it. Okay, all right. Last one. This is my favorite one. What kind of car does Baby Yoda drive? This is great. I'm sorry. What kind of car does Baby Yoda drive? A Toyota. What kind of car does Baby Yoda drive? A Toyota. Toyota. All right. I'll stop. But only because we have to move on to famous birthday trivia. That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. And I can't believe it. We literally have less than 10 minutes left. So let's make it count. The first birthday girl was born in the year 1970, and her last name is Conductora or Golpeadora. Yeah, well, it can be many things. We looked at that word in depth today. O la que vuelve loco, right? Believe me, we looked at her last name in depth, probably enough to drive you crazy. And her first name, bueno, si lo traduces, si solo oyes su nombre, suena a pequeña conductora. She's been in many, many movies. She was in Good Will Hunting. Gross Point Blank, I think it's de Le Llaman Body. Good Will Hunting, that's a great one because it has two meanings. His name is Will Hunting. Entonces es el buen, el indomable. No, es bueno. He's a good guy. Good Will Hunting. But also, en busca de la bondad, la voluntad. He's hunting, cazando la voluntad. What else? Yeah, she was nominated for both the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress and the SAG Award, the Screen Actors Guild. She was also in the movie in 2013, I Give It a Year. That was today's Name That Movie. But I didn't mention her name, but I think I just made it really easy. She was in GoldenEye in 1995, Sleepers in 1996, Big Night, which is a great movie about an Italian restaurant. If you guys have not seen that movie, I know we're not in the movie section here, but you got to check it out. It's called Big Night. I'm sure Chris Valrol is familiar with it. And that movie came out in 1996. It's really, really good. It's not like well known. It's not like everybody's like, whoa. But it did win the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival. And it stars this woman, Isabella Rossellini and Tony Shalhoub. It's a beautiful story about people, their relationship with their family, their friends, and a restaurant and food. So I think Spanish people, it's about an Italian family, but I think Spanish people could identify with it perfectly. And last but not least, this was an American tenor and actor who sang a lot of Italian songs. He was a crooner. Speaking, we just led right. Look at that segue, esa transición, italiano a italiano aquí. And he was a Hollywood film star. He was very popular in the 40s and 50s. And at the age of 16, we don't say with 16, we say at. At 16, he learned to be a professional singer, or he started learning to become a professional singer. And then he sang at the Hollywood Bowl in 1947, in one of the most famous venues in the United States. And then he signed a 7-year film contract with Louis B. Mayer, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, the famous film company, MGM, como lo decimos. And then he was in Puccini's Madame Butterfly in New Orleans, The Midnight Kiss, just an amazing singer. He played the role of Enrique Caruso, who was his idol in The Great Caruso. And last but not least, this person was born in 1981. Excuse me. He was the guy who reminded us to cry me a river, cry me a river. And he also was the one who said, we're going to bring sexy back, or oops, 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 oops. Yeah, that's right. We call him JT. I just given you his initials. All right, let's see if you guys figured out today's birthday boys and girls. Number one is Mini Driver. Mini Driver. Number two, Mario Throw. Mario Lanza. Mario Throws. Or Lance. And last but not least, Justin Timberlake, que créetelo, timber es madera, y lake, madera, yeah, and lake es lago. Y cuando tiran un árbol dicen timber. So Timberlake, interesting. His name, all three names mean something today. And we're going to go over to our Say What soundbite. This is Justin Timberlake. That's right, JT. And he was talking about how he met Mick Jagger at a charity event. And he goes, it was a charity event, un evento para recaudar dinero, ¿no? Para una ONG. And you hear, I took out all the ums, and it's normal. He's a normal person. He goes, it was a charity event. Then he goes, you get a call from, he goes, recibes una llamada de, y aquí es donde mete su frase. I'll pick this name up after I drop it. Ok, recojo este nombre después de tirarlo. Y viene está haciendo un juego de palabras, que es to name drop, es decir, estuve con Chicote ayer. O sea, hablar de alguien famoso como, oh, yeah, you know that es muy, en Hollywood es hablar de quien conoces, to name drop, right? And he's realizing he's doing it, so he makes a little joke. He goes, that you get a call from I think Mick Jagger. He goes, I'll just pick this name up after I drop it. Okay, he's name dropping. So he goes, lo recojo, que no se dice, pero es un buen juego de palabras. He goes, I'll just pick this name up after I drop it, Mick Jagger. He goes, and he says, we want you to come play the event. Queremos que vengas a tocar el evento. And so I said, sure. I mean, you don't turn down Mick Jagger, do you? All right, here's JT, Justin Timberlake.
It was a charity event that you get a call from I'll just pick this name up after I drop it, Mick Jagger. And he says, we want you to come and play the event. And so I said, sure.
All right, folks, there you go. And it's time for our final section, Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And I can't believe that we have reached the end of today's show. It feels like just moments ago that I sat down here and started to do the show here with you. So thank you to all of you for your participation today and every day. And for those of you who are there behind the scenes, you're listening every day, even though you're not here live. I love you. I appreciate you. And I know you're there. I know you guys are there because, well, I receive a lot of messages from people who say, Alberto, I can't participate, but I'm there. I'm doing it. You know, I can't participate live. I can't. And to me, that's beautiful because, you know, I love that every day we get a huge group of people here, a group of friends, family that gets together. And that's just magic, really. But also that there's this extended family that we may know them, we may not know them, but they're there every day, tirelessly putting in that effort. And that applause is for you guys. Well, you guys who participate every day, you get your applause every day. You get that credit. I want to make sure you guys who don't listen to us live, who tune in via podcast, you know, we appreciate you. You're a part of our class too. And if you ever get a chance, si tienes la oportunidad, stop by and say hello. Dinos algo, por favor. All right. And I'm going to lanzar a song by Mario Lanza, the guy who sang in many different languages. I remember my grandpa was a huge fan. We don't have time to go over the lyrics, but if you'd like to, you can take a look at the song with us. It's absolutely beautiful. It's Serenata by Mario Lanza. I'm going to serenade you. To serenade is cantarte from outside, from your balcony. Why not? Guys, thank you so much. Always a pleasure. We'll see you tomorrow.